Hey everyone, it's low carb and keto nutrition specialist Amy Berger bringing you good old keto without the crazy. Today I have for you what I hope will be a helpful mindset tip for those of you who struggle to stay on a ketogenic or low carb diet. And I'm going to start off sharing a story of something that's been happening with someone I was working with, and I think it's going to be helpful. So this young lady has lost about 50 pounds in a year, which is phenomenal, right? I mean, 50 pounds is incredible. She recognizes that this is pretty phenomenal and pretty incredible, but she has a friend who's lost about 80 pounds in the same time. So it's a little like, oh, this is so annoying. This is unfair, right? Um, but this young lady has devised a strategy for herself that is working well. And we know it's working well because she lost 50 pounds. So, what she does is for some period of time, she's pretty strict keto, very low carb. And then she kind of spends a little bit of time doing what she's calling paleo, then back to keto, very low carb, a little bit of paleo, back to keto. And so she knows that the weight loss is going to be a little bit slower because of this, right? But it's not stopped. She's lost 50 pounds, so it's working well enough. And the reason that she is doing this is because for her, it is more sustainable, more realistic, more doable, right? It doesn't matter how well keto or low carb works if somebody has trouble sticking to it. Nothing works if you can't do it. So how do we find a way to get you to do it mostly? And so she's doing this, and I think it's working really well. She feels really good about it, and she acknowledges that this is probably why it's taking a little longer. Maybe she could have lost more than 50 pounds in a year, but not that 50 is anything to sneeze at. Um, and just to pause here for a second, my co-author, Dr. Eric Westman, often says that a really good rate of weight loss is 1 to 2 pounds per week. So if she's lost about 50 pounds in a year, she's about right on track. I mean, 52 weeks in a year, she's lost 50 pounds. So on average, that's about a pound a week, which is fantastic. There were probably weeks and months where she lost a lot more, and maybe weeks and months where she barely lost any, but it averages out to about a pound a week, which is right on target. So, and I do think personally, the more weight you have to lose, the more, the more quickly it comes off, and the more that rate is going to hold true. If you're only looking to lose 10 or 12 pounds, I don't know that you're going to, lose a pound or two a week every week until you do. Anyway, I think that this strategy is fine because it's working for her and it's doable for her. So the thing is, though, she was using a phrase and a word that I pointed out to her. I think this may be an issue here. She was saying that and when she has these little periods of what she classifies as paleo, it's not like she's eating 200 grams of carbs, right? It's not like she's eating garbage. During those periods of time, she's eating more fruit. She might be eating potatoes, beets, beans, well, beans aren't technically paleo, but things that are higher in carbohydrate than she would eat during these other lower carb periods, but she's not eating trash and she's not eating a whole ton of carbs. So she was saying the reason that she's doing that is because she hates feeling like she's on a diet all the time. She hates feeling like she's dieting. And during the keto or very low carb portions, that's how she feels. She feels like she's on a diet or like she is dieting. And the reason, and I said to her, I think one of the issues here is the way that you are thinking of those words or that phrase, being on a diet. Unfortunately, in the modern era, women especially, but maybe men, but mostly women, have come to equate the word diet or the phrase being on a diet. We have come to equate that with wanting to lose weight or deliberately restricting our food intake, restricting calories, forcing ourselves to go hungry for the sole purpose of losing weight or losing body fat, getting smaller. To us, that is what dieting has come to mean. That is what it means to be on a diet. But that is wrong. That is not what diet means. I follow a low carb diet. I eat a keto diet, period. It has, if I lost weight, great, but I don't do it now because I'm aiming to lose weight. I don't do it now because I'm trying to get smaller. This is just the way I eat. That's what diet means, just the food that you eat, the food pattern that is your way of eating. So let's say you have celiac disease, like real true celiac, like you cannot have gluten. You would follow a gluten-free diet. Being on a gluten-free diet just means that your diet does not contain gluten. There is no implication there that it's intended for weight loss or for making you smaller or that it needs to be low in calories. You could eat a gluten-free diet that's 10,000 calories a day if you wanted to, right? Low carb. A low carb diet doesn't imply anything about weight loss. Tons of people might be using it for that purpose, but that's not what the diet itself means. A low carb diet just means that your diet consists of foods that are low in carbohydrate. So again, this is a nonsensical BS term, but let's use it anyway because we're familiar with it. The Mediterranean diet. If you want to find out why that's a nonsensical BS term, read the book The Big Fat Surprise by Nina Teicholz. I think I have a copy of it right here. It might even be within arm's reach. Let's see. It's not quite within arm's reach. I won't grab it, but The Big Fat Surprise by Nina Teicholz. The Mediterranean diet is just a diet that you would eat in the Mediterranean. There's no implication whatsoever that it is intended for weight loss or that you have to count calories or that you have to eat less than you would otherwise be inclined to eat on the Mediterranean diet. It is just what you eat. And I feel the same way about low carb and keto. So, she's bringing, and many of you, those of you who feel this way, you think I'm doing keto. Where it feels like something temporary. Oh, I'll do keto for 6 months and then what? Well, that's a whole separate video, but like to you, dieting is something that you do for a temporary amount of time, only as long as you can stand it, only as long as you can white knuckle, being so hungry all the time. And it's being, again, for this person and for many of you out there maybe, being on a diet or feeling like you're dieting automatically implies hardship and struggle and difficulty and pain and deprivation and unpleasantness and discomfort. When I say I eat a low carb diet, I don't feel any of those emotions. Like pass the ribeye, pass the butter. No, not really, but to me, if I say I eat a keto diet, I eat a low carb diet, there's none of that emotional negative baggage because I don't automatically associate following a keto diet with being hungry all the time or being uncomfortable all the time, riding it out as long as I can until I can quit this crazy diet and go do something else. So if this person and you out there, if you fall into this category, if this is resonating with you, if you would shift your mindset, shift the definition of that word and that phrase in your mind. Like when you say the word diet, I'm on a keto diet, I follow a keto diet, take those negative connotations out of it because they don't belong there in the first place. That has nothing to do with the word diet. Losing weight, the process of having your physical body have less adipose tissue, for you to be less fat, for you to be thinner, for you to get rid of some body fat, some of that adipose tissue, has nothing to do with the diet that you follow, the keto diet, the Mediterranean diet, a vegan diet, a gluten-free diet, paleo diet. None of these are by definition calorie restricted or where you have to like, I don't know, where you have to deliberately withhold and deprive yourself of food, like none of those imply weight loss. They just they don't. Again, many people use keto, of course, for weight loss, but it doesn't. Many people don't use it for weight loss, for epilepsy, for hypertension, for bipolar, for schizophrenia. So let me one more thing I want to say before I forget. I Many people will try to shift their thinking about dieting or being on a diet by say, with regard to keto, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. I I hate that. It drives me nuts. If it helps you, then keep doing it. If it helps you to feel like this is just the way I eat, this is just how I operate in life. I'm on a it's not I follow the keto lifestyle. You don't even call it a diet. I do the keto lifestyle. If that helps you, then do it. I don't like that personally just because keto is not my life. It is, in fact, my diet. I follow a keto diet, and I have no problem saying that because diet has no negative connotations for me. If I'm out if I'm at the movies or I'm having a drink with friends or I'm like sitting on the couch reading a novel, there's no keto involved in any of that. Like it just, well, maybe if I'm having the wine, but no, you know what I mean? Like there's no keto doesn't infiltrate every aspect of my life. If I'm in the car driving to the library, keto has nothing to do with that. I do not have a keto lifestyle. I follow a keto diet. So I say if thinking about it as a lifestyle works for you, because maybe that means this isn't just your diet, it's your life. So that means that when you're at an airport, you wouldn't even consider getting a hot pretzel or a bagel. You're gonna get eggs, or you're gonna get a coffee, or you're gonna eat a burger without the bun. If you're on the road and you're really hungry, you're gonna run into a gas station. You would never even consider getting a bag of chips. You're gonna get pork rinds, or you're gonna get beef jerky. If being on the keto lifestyle means that to you, great. But and that's fine, but I would also like to see us reclaim the word diet or dieting or the phrase being on a diet. None of us is on a diet. I'm not on a diet. Keto isn't something that I'm doing for some limited fixed period of time and then I'm going to not do it. It is my diet. It's what I eat. And I think if you could reframe thinking about diet that way, keto might feel less punitive to you. It might feel less restrictive. Now, keto is restrictive. There's no two ways around that. You are restricted from eating foods that are high in carbs. If you're doing a real ketogenic diet, you're probably not eating bagels and pasta and rice and bread and cookies and crackers and all that stuff. You are restricted, but keto does not necessarily imply counting calories. It doesn't automatically imply having to restrict the total intake of your food, although some of us might have to. If we want to lose weight, we maybe can't eat as much as we would like to. But that's other stuff that comes into it. That's not what keto means by itself. Keto, following a ketogenic diet, has nothing to do, again, with forcing yourself to go hungry or having to restrict calories, having to eat within a certain period of time, like those eating windows, fasting windows. Keto does not imply any of that automatically. You might bring that into it, but it isn't there by itself. So if thinking, like if you feel like, I don't know, like what am I trying to say at this point? Reclaim the word. I follow a keto diet. I'm on a keto diet. Yeah. But that doesn't have to automatically bring all that negative baggage with it. You eat a keto diet, end of story. Nothing more. No adjectives need to come into play there. None of that, none of those feelings need to come into, it's restrictive, it's hard, it's none of that needs to be there. You eat a keto diet. Does that make sense? I hope so. I just after that, I just thought like, again, I want to reiterate that this person, and she may watch this video, that what she's doing is fine. Like keto most of the time, little break for paleo. Keto most of the time, little break for paleo. But she might not feel like she needs a break from keto. She might not feel like she needs a break from dieting if she could shift the thinking in her mind that she is dieting or that she is on a diet. She could just think, I eat keto now. And it doesn't have to feel like like it's limiting in some way. There's a word that I can't think of that I'm missing. Like you feel boxed in. And I think that's why she feels like she needs to get out of the box every few weeks and go to paleo for a little bit. But she's created the box in her own mind, and I wonder how many of us, how many of you out there are doing the same thing. Your interpretation, your beliefs around keto or low carb make it so that it feels punitive, right? That's the best word. It feels like a punishment. It feels like, how long do I have to tolerate this terrible keto diet till I can go back to my cookies? Like, if that's the mindset you have, well, no wonder it's hard to stick to. So I think I'm going to close out now, but I hope that makes sense. Again, diet doesn't automatically imply anything. Like, diet is a noun. It's not an adjective. It's not even a verb. Like, even I'm dieting. I don't like the word diet as a verb, because dieting, that's what makes us equate dieting with cutting calories and starving ourselves. When you think I'm dieting, yeah, I'm dieting too. I eat a keto diet, and that I am dieting because I'm following a diet. It just happens to not be some 30-day plan. It happens to not be this terrible, difficult, painful thing that I have to sustain. Like, I enjoy it, and it's how I eat. I'm going to stop rambling now because I'm just saying the same thing 42 different ways at this point. Thanks for watching. I'm not sure. I think this video is probably going to air either possibly after, but if this video airs before December 5th, I think, the Adapter-Life Academy online course on type 1 diabetes is still open. The enrollment is from November 28th through December 5th. So if this video is aired before December 5th and you would like to learn about how to use a low-carb diet for type 1 diabetes, definitely check out the course. I'll put a link below. And as always, any other important links will be below. Subscribe to the channel. You don't want to miss anything. And I'm on Patreon. Hello. If you want to do live Q&As with me, and yet you get early access to videos, you get to see them a couple days before I publish them on YouTube. So check it out, patreon.com/2itnutrition. There's a link below. See you next time.